Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Vedanta philosophy and family life. Swami Sarvapriyananda. So, Vedanta philosophy and family life. Let's take a hear at what he has to say.
I internalize the problems of my family members, feel responsible for their happiness, and become depressed. How can I apply Vedanta philosophy to be happy in family life?
Ooh, it's weird. I want to say it's weird. It's almost like I had this thought, and that's why I said it's weird. It's the fact that when you understand that you're not the body, you're not the emotion, it makes you almost seem like you're heartless or not careless. Like you care, you don't have a care. But it's not that. It's just to understand that the suffering's happening in the body and that you are not suffering. But that doesn't mean that you're not responsible for things. You still should be responsible. You should play your role, but you should understand that the body and the suffering of the body is not you, as far as I understand. Be happy family life. I'd say, I mean, and this is where my way of life of understanding comes into play. What is making? I mean, this is kind of very vague. Like, okay, your family's unhappy. You want to make them happy. Well, what do you think is causing the problem? Understanding right there. So find out what is making them unhappy. Understand what's making them unhappy. Then take responsibility. Act upon karma. Understand. Act upon what it needs to be done to make them happy. But of course, that doesn't mean, sacrifice yourself to make them happy, whether that means working overtime or anything like that. Be reasonable. If what makes them happy is impossible, you should not work yourself to death to make them happy. That is an unreasonable request upon your family onto you. So that's a thing that to understand as well, is that of course if they want a new shoes, that's not very expensive, but maybe you're not like a rich family or something, then maybe understandable, that maybe they have really old shoes and work a little bit to make them a little bit happy, like that. Materialistic things, obviously, but it's understanding what makes people unhappy, and then when you understand what needs to be done to fix it, then you can act upon it.
First of all, one's own problems. You're now appropriating other people's problems and becoming depressed. No, that's good, because a sensitive person is bound to be like that. If one is not feeling the problems of others, one is a brute. But one must be both practical and sensitive. Practical and sensitive. A pastor in a church said to me that in every church, in a community, we have people who are so heavenly that they are no practical good. The minds are always heavenly, no practical good. And one monk said to me, what is practical Vedanta? I said, what? If you ask a monk to do something practical, he'll give you a talk on Vedanta. That's practical Vedanta. So, no, one must not be like that. Not all theory and no practice. But the opposite, Vivekananda says, too much practicality makes brutes of us. So if you are sensitive to the sufferings of others, very good. Very good. Now, one must also be centered in one's spiritual nature. How do you overcome your own personal suffering? A spiritual attitude is necessary. A karma yogi. My life is service. I love to be of use to others. Can I remove the sufferings of others? So when my own sufferings come, physical problem, somebody behaved badly with me, I have got financial problem, whatever, these are very minor to me, because I'm so engaged in trying to help other people. I see the suffering, I identify with others. Don't you see, when you have a lot of responsibility and a lot of people are depending upon you, in that case, your own sufferings become secondary. When you're all alone, I've seen sometimes monks in the caves, how narrow and selfish they become. Because there's nothing else to do. So the whole mind comes upon this body. My little problem. That becomes the whole world to them. So the karma yogi's attitude is, I am here to help. What can I do for you? And that becomes paramount. One Swami, I really like this. I never met him. I heard it from another senior Swami. In our hospital in Benares, this Swami, many decades ago, he said to the younger monks, I don't know what is these problems you're bringing to me, anger and lust and greed and struggles in monastic life. I don't know. When I became a monk, when I was your age and joined the order in this hospital, from morning till night, they are patients, they are in pain, they are suffering, and I have to go and help them. So we would rush to, I and my brothers, we would, young novices, we would rush to the hospital and work tirelessly throughout the day. And in the evening in the afternoon we would come for food. Sometimes we would miss food and we would be late, and just a plate of cold food would be left and everybody's eaten and gone. We would just finish, gulp it down, rush back to the hospital. And then in the evening we would probably miss evening prayers. But we would come late in the night, and if any food is left, I'd take that, and moment I hit the bed, I'm out like a light. So exhausted from and the next day, and such in this way, 40 years of my life went by. I never felt what you're talking about, anger and lust and greed. You see what a blessed life that is.
I will say to that, do take care of yourself though, because this is another way of life of mine, or philosophy, or way of life. It's not to become part of the problem. So, and this is kind of like a selfish thing that Osho has said in one of the videos that I watched before. It's going to make you kind of selfish, but if everyone can take care of themselves, then no one becomes a problem, then there will be no problem. But if you end up helping too many people and then you end up going broke because you didn't take care of yourself, whether that be financially or health-wise or your family or whatever it may be, you become part of that problem that you're trying to fix. And now you cannot fix that problem that you're trying to fix because you have your own problem. So again, like poor people, you're trying to help poor people by giving them money or whatever it may be, and all of a sudden you become poor. Now you can't help a poor person anymore because you have no money, and you have become part of the problem. It sounds terrible to say that, but it's true. So, and I think a few other, I'm trying to think if anyone else said this besides Osho, but basically it sounds terrible to say, but do take care of yourself first and foremost. Don't become part of the problem. If less people become part of the problem, well, eventually may go away, and at least no more people becomes part of the problem. And also, yeah, that's why I say take care of yourself. You know, don't work yourself to death so much. You gotta take care of yourself. And hopefully, I mean, hopefully they don't regret, 40 years going by and, didn't want to start a family or anything. But then again, I do believe they take a celibate life, I believe. But, be mindful of things, time especially. 40 years going by and then you're like, oh my gosh.
To be free of one's little petty problems. Let it go. If you are a bhakta, this is a karma yogi, as a bhakta, my love of God is all consuming, not my little problems. God is not there for me to trot out my Christmas list of wishes. Give me this, give me that, give me that. No, doesn't matter. For a bhakta, the only problem is if I forget God. And the only achievement is if I can remember and stay with God. Kunti prayers at the end of the great war of Mahabharata. Kunti prays to Sri Krishna that all I want is life after life. If I have to be born again, life after life. Give me sorrows, my Lord, so that I may never forget you. What a serious prayer that is. Who prays for sorrow, especially who prays for sorrow to God, who can grant it. But I remember thee. And for the jnani, I am Satchidananda, I am that infinite sky of consciousness in which these things, good things and bad things, so-called troubles and so-called pleasures, they arise, shine and disappear like clouds floating past in the vast blue sky. The sky is unconcerned and unaffected. Neither too excited by the nice things which happen, nor too disturbed by the little problems which come and go. Because they will go. Anything that comes and goes has no relation to the eternal. You are the eternal. Therefore, anything in the world has no relation to you. This body has no relation to you. Not only are you not the body, this body is also not yours. I mean it.
That is so weird to hear when you think that if you're a Brahmin and everything's Brahmin, therefore you are the body as well. But I get what he's trying to say. I do believe. Even the sorrows are you, because it exists, therefore it is Brahmin.
I am not the body, but this body is mine is something most of us can come to. But the body is not even mine. How is this body yours? Who gave it to me? Show me the papers. If a cop pulls you up and says, show me the papers to the body. No, I don't have any papers.
Birth certificate. No, just joking.
Who gave it to you? Did you make it? No. Even our parents didn't make it. Nature makes it, Prakriti. Do you own the materials, the sky and the fire and the earth and the water and the air out of which the body is made, or the 150, 70, 80 odd elements in the periodic table? Do you own them? No. If you own the materials, you can say this is made of the materials I provided. No. You don't own the materials. Do you control it? Does it obey you? Not at all. Most of the processes in the body we have absolutely no idea.
Oh, yeah.
And the few things which we have an idea of, which we think we have involuntary control, we have absolutely no idea how we are in voluntary control of that. Digestion, the hormonal secretions, the neuronal activity in the brains, the kidneys, the liver, is a miracle how they are working. The heart pumping away throughout our living as life goes on. Lungs. We don't have the slightest bit of control over them. They don't obey us at all. And thank God, if suddenly nature handed over, okay, you are it. 911.
That's if you can. I was just thinking that, just imagine you have to think, okay, breathe, exhale. Okay, blink. How do I blink? There we go. Okay, got it. Laugh, exhale, breathe, chew, digest, process the heartbeat.
Immediately. What happened? He tried to run his own body. It collapsed in 2 minutes. The body does not obey us. Not at all. And one day it will go. Even the things which we say consciously we are doing, breathing in. Didn't you give us a breathing exercise? Breathing in. Yes, but how did I do it? I have no idea. A thought came in my mind, I'm going to breathe in, and miraculously it happened. Think about it. It happened miraculously. Say, no, I did it. No, you didn't. Notice.
When you go to sleep, especially.
A little stroke, a little paralysis this way, and it shows to us we have really no idea how I was lifting this hand. Now I can't. So none of this, let alone involuntary functions, voluntary functions of this body also. Mind, endless random flow of thoughts and ideas and feelings, where they are coming up from. These drives and desires, where they are bubbling up from and taking charge of my life. Depressive thoughts, making me thoroughly miserable. I read an article, Memoirs of Madness. I forget the name, very well-known writer. Oh, he wrote the book Sophie's Choice. William Turner or something? What's his name? Styron. William Styron. If you read the Memoirs of Madness, you can understand why he wrote a book like Sophie's Choice. The depth of darkness within him. And so he writes once that I went to commit suicide, but I was luckily saved. And later on, they put me on some psychiatric medication. After that, I felt, why did I try to kill myself? There's nothing wrong at all. So where did those depressive thoughts come up, hijack my whole thinking process and drive me towards death? No control there either. It has nothing to do with you.
Two philosophies. Understand and responsibility. Goes with that.
It's a projection of, call it Maya, God, whatever. This drama of life is being played on the stage of consciousness which you are. From that point of view, If you take that point of view, where are the problems of the world? Let them come and go, they're nothing to you. One thing, all right, I'll tell you one thing. Nothing can kill you. From now on, check. Year after year, decade after decade, lifetime after lifetime, check. The Swami was right, I'm still there. I'm old and sick, but I'm still there. I'm dead, but I'm still there. Here I am, a new baby, I'm still there. The Swami was right. Nothing can kill me. Nothing can kill us. Nothing can touch our essential nature. Bodies can be damaged. Minds can be made unhappy. So, our personal problems do not touch us that way. Stay in that nature, you will see the problems of others also will not make you depressed. Rather, you will be able to help. You don't have to be depressed. You should not be depressed in order to help others.
Yes, yeah, you can't, if you're depressed yourself. Again, if you're poor, you can't help the poor, really. I mean, you can, but not get out of the situation for the most part. Also, it's kind of like asking a blind man asking a blind man to lead him out of the cave when they've never seen what the cave looks like or ever left at his place. But yeah, basically, from my understanding of this, again, I'm pretty sure I got it right. He's talking about Brahman or Atman, a pure consciousness. That's who you are, truly are. This body and mind is all Maya or an illusion. It's not the real you. And Atman, Brahman cannot be destroyed.
If a doctor gets overwhelmed by the pain of the patients, how can the doctor help others? You can help others when you know the truth that there is something within us which is untouched by suffering. Identify with that, stay there. From there, that position, you can help. Who are the ones who can most help humanity? It is the spiritually enlightened. When the Buddha set out to find solutions to sufferings, the solution he found a solution. But was that solution, what was that solution? What is a new kind of medicine? No. Was it a new TV show? Entertainment? No. Was it a new political system? No. It was a spiritual solution. Because at root, our sufferings are spiritual suffering, nothing else. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So basically, as far as I can tell from this video, again, to find out your true nature of yourself in terms of Advaita Vedanta, that you are not the body, not the mind, not the emotion. 3 things that Osho has talked about, which cleared a lot of things up. You're the physical body, you're not the mind, and then you're not the emotion. So basically, separate yourself from the body first, separate yourself from the mind, and then separate yourself. Is it the mind or the emotions? I can't remember which one's the second one. Maybe the emotions, then the mind. But that actually helped understand how to separate yourself by stages. Whereas other gurus and swamis has not said that. Because it's kind of like all just doing all at once. It's like lifting 500 pounds or 500 of whatever weights, what's kilos or pounds. You won't be able to do it. You start off slow, one stage at a time, and work your way towards that. And I'm sure maybe it's because I haven't watched the meditation videos, but at least with Osho, whenever he said you start off with you remove yourself from the body, then you remove yourself from either the emotion or the mind's next. I think it was the mind and then the emotion, and after that you're seeing yourself from like a third person. That's my body, my mind, and the emotions. You can kind of see it there separate from yourself, your true self. So when you understand that you're not the body, mind, and your emotion, you can help other people out. And again, like you said, like I said a little bit earlier, it's the fact that yes, it's good to understand people, understand their suffering, understand what you can do about it, and understand the limitation that you have. Of course, if someone's happiness is to say they want to buy a mansion and then you don't make that kind of money, you understand that you cannot make that happen. It's impractical, and you working yourself to death to make that happen is impractical as well. You are causing, well, one, a lot of suffering to yourself, unnecessary suffering, as well as what is it? You may also put yourself into a situation which, like being poor, basically. If once you spend your life savings to buy this house, then you become financially in trouble. So, or your mental health or your physical health will be put in jeopardy because you're constantly working so hard. Hopefully, those monks that went to that hospital have. I mean, luckily enough, it doesn't sound like they've been put through that. But if you stress your body out, you could put yourself in a situation where you now need medical care while you're trying to, like those monks need medical care instead of being able to help those people because you stressed yourself so hard that your body has become susceptible to whatever kind of sickness or disease. So again, be practical about solutions. And the way to be practical about solutions is understanding. Understand what the problem is, understand what the solution is, and then take responsibility by doing what is understandable and practical. Now, to be specific, you can't, because every problem has a specific solution. What that specific solution is going to be different for everyone. It could be the same problem, have three different people with the same problem and three different solutions, because not every solution works for everyone. And that's something that I also agree with Sadhguru about. Again, gurus, swamis, not one guru may be the perfect guru for you. Maybe it's a different guru, maybe there's three different gurus, I'm guessing. Anyways, that's my reaction to Vedanta philosophy in family life. That went actually, that was quite nice. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.